Model guns in Japan profiled by Lucifer 7922. Evaluate cartridges for model guns. I hear that in the world of guns, the performance of cartridges often leads to the evaluation of guns. Even if the cartridges have the same size, differences in performance are pointed out depending on the manufacturer. The same can be said for model guns. Not to mention the difference in performance due to the difference in model gun makers, the difference is clear even for products of the same manufacturer. Therefore, this time we will verify Maruchan Industries 9mm PFC full size. I think there are two ways to evaluate a cartridge. 1. Test fire with a model gun that guarantees perfect operation. 2. Use a dedicated device to evaluate the cartridge. Naturally I chose 2. There is no need to state the reason. It goes without saying that cartridge evaluation device is not commercially available. Therefore, I made it myself. However, the production process is omitted in this video. Also, please watch the video as we cannot convey the index of ability evaluation in words. As far as I know, Maruchan Industries 9mm PFC full size seems to have 3 forms. However, if you distinguish by ability evaluation, you can think of it as 2. Therefore, this time, we divided it into early model and late model and performed basic ability evaluation. We are also verifying the difference between plugs that use the improved model of the early model and the late model. I'm also trying the MP40 cartridge that I made 10 years ago as a reference. This is a list of cartridges that have been evaluated. The blanks will be filled with numerical values after the evaluation test. The specifications of each cartridge will be described in detail at the time of overview. Now, let's start the evaluation test. The weight used for evaluation is 480 grams in actual measurement. Early model. Late model. Improved model of the early model. Plug without O-ring. .5mm inner diameter plug. MP40CP. I will give my personal opinion while looking at the test results. Although it is the early model, even the maximum value is lower than the value for other cartridges. The minimum value was far below the estimated value and could not be captured in the image. There is no doubt that this factor is gas leak from the threaded part. As a matter of course, this symptom is thought to worsen as the frequency of use increases. In actual use, it will be extremely difficult to operate normally without obtaining sufficient explosive power. Also, the cap gunpowder case was supposed to be shot through, but unfortunately only one was shot through. Probably the cartridge that showed the maximum value. Next is the late model, which shows the best numbers in terms of average and maximum values. The minimum value is inferior to other cartridges, but it can be regarded as the range of variation. All cap gunpowder cases have been shot through. From this phenomenon, it can be seen that the internal pressure is sufficiently stored. The specifications of improved model of the early model are described. The improved model has resized and increased the number of O-rings used for the early model primers. The early model has an inner diameter of 6.0 mm and a wire diameter of 1 mm, and one is used. The improved model uses two with an inner diameter of 5.5 mm and a wire diameter of 1.0. Did you understand the specifications of improved model? If you feel that the explanation is insufficient, please describe it in the comments section. By the way, improved model exceeded early model used as a base in all numerical values. From this result, it is probable that improvement of gas sealability was seen. Also, all cap gunpowder cases have been shot through. This result is also considered to be evidence to support improvement of gas sealability. However, it is thought that the reason why it did not reach the late model is that the pressurized stroke was shortened by 1 mm. Also, under the present circumstances, it may be necessary to adjust the distance to the firing pin for use. This is a future issue. Next, I will talk about plug without O-ring and 2.5 mm inner diameter plug, but first I will explain the specifications. The base is late model, and both of them have changed the plug of late model by referring to the comments of the viewers. Plug without O-ring has removed the standard plug O-ring. The 2.5 mm inner diameter plug has expanded the inner diameter of the standard plug from 2.0 mm to 2.5 mm. Let's take a look at the test results of plug without O-ring. The comparison target is late model. The average and maximum values are inferior to the late model, but the minimum values are superior. It was not a numerical value that could be said to be improved or worse, and it was thought that there was no material for continuous verification. Next is the test result of 2.5 mm inner diameter plug, but the comparison target is also late model. The test results here are also not values that indicate extreme improvement or deterioration. However, since there is no significant decrease in ability, it is worth continuing the verification if the sound effect can be expected. Both cap gunpowder cases have been shot through. Finally, MP40 CP is one of the first cartridges I made about 10 years ago. It imitates the structure of MGC, and the degree of perfection remains questionable. Therefore, I will state that it is not an evaluation of MGC. In order to help everyone's understanding, we will check the difference from PFC in the drawing. The left side of the drawing is PFC, late model, and the right side is MP40, CP. From the top, no gunpowder, the middle is before firing, and the bottom is after firing. The pressurized stroke of before firing is 9.27 mm for PFC and 7.75 mm for MP40, which is a difference of about 1.5 mm. Let's take a look at the test results. The average and maximum values of MP40, CP are lower than those of PFC, late model. This is thought to be due to the shortness of the pressurized stroke. However, it should be noted that the variation is the smallest. Of course, I'm not going to say anything definitive with just 5 samples. In the future, we plan to conduct a comparative test of PFC and CP with different specifications. Finally, let's turn off the BGM and compare the firing sounds. Late model. .5 mm inner diameter plug. MP40 CP. Please listen to 2 shots again. I couldn't feel a clear difference in volume. How did it sound to you? Perhaps you can see a clear difference by shooting with a model gun. That's all for today. Thank you for watching until the end. See you soon. Goodbye.